Morning Mayhem with Tyler and Mo.
It's group therapy time.
It is.
We're actually live in the Clarksville chat on Facebook Live, but we're live in Clarksville chat. Or not Chive.
Clarksville Chive, yeah.
Jeez, sorry guys. Clarksville Chive, C-H-I-V-E. You got the chive.
Never mind. I'm not even going to call out. Never mind. Don't spell that again.
What's up, Matt Reese in Clarksville Chive? All right, let's try this. This listener email we just got.
It's kind of deep.
She kind of needs group therapy, and this is the reason why we're going to go live, or we are live in Clarksville Chive, because we want some feedback for this young lady. Go ahead and read the email.
All right. Get adjusted here. All right. I listen to your show almost every day, and it's one of my favorite parts of my morning. You guys are funny, honest, helpful, and genuine, or at least you appear to be on the radio.
We're not. We screw up.
So my question is, how do you know when you're in love? I'm not talking about the generic responses, butterflies, finding a person who is funny, can be yourself around, loving everything about them, including their flaws, knowing you make each other better by being together, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how do you know you are with someone who you want to spend the rest of your life with? What does love feel like? I have had issues with my relationships in the past where I would jump into a relationship too fast and then leave too soon without fighting through the bad stuff. Now I am married, have kids, and have been with my current spouse for about 7 years. At the time, I thought the person I am currently with would be different because I thought what I felt was love. But now, years later, after the newness and exciting part of the relationship has passed, and as our kids are getting older, lately I have felt nothing. I am not attracted to my spouse, and yes, we relatively get along, but I don't feel love. I'm having a hard time deciphering if I'm in love or if I jumped into things too quickly because at the time it seemed to be the right thing to do. We got married, bought a house, and had kids. Over the last couple years, I have slowly started to feel this way even before our most recent child was born, but now I have gotten to the point where the feelings have stopped. I care about my spouse very much, and my spouse is a good person, but I am at a loss. I have tried waiting it out, and if I was able to know I was in love, then I would push through. But then how long do I continue to be unhappy? How do I know if I'm in love?
Damn.
Jeez.
That's really deep.
For real.
Okay, so let's do cliff notes on this. So she wants to know how do you know that you're in love? Because she's in a relationship. She's married to someone.
Been married 7 years.
7 years. They have kids? Or
yes,
okay.
They do have kids.
Okay, they have kids. And 7 years is kind of like that point where stuff gets like this.
It actually is more like 6. 6 years is that point where it's, we've been through some things. It's either fight or flight.
All right, this is group therapy now. Not only are we going to say our opinions, but you can, if you're on the Clarksville Chive chat room on Facebook, you can comment on the video of the Facebook Live that we're doing, or you can text us, TMM, hit the space bar, then type your message to the number 77,000. Do we have any advice for her?
Well, first off, those generic things that she mentions, she says, I'm not talking about the generic responses of finding a person funny or butterflies or loving everything about them and da-da-da-da. The thing about that is what love is. You can't really fully define love, but those things are definitely a part of it. So to me, it seems more like this person is not so much that they don't know what love is. To me, it seems more like they have a problem accepting love. Does that make sense? Like she has an issue with what love takes. And instead of being fully in for love, she would rather get the fun parts out of it and then call it quits. It's almost a fear of commitment, so to speak.
I feel like we're missing something out of that email, though. I feel like there's something there that she didn't say or disclose. You know, it's like it just seems kind of weird. Like I don't know. Her feeling is that when she looks at her husband, she doesn't feel in love with him. Why? Like there's got to be a reason, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes people do fall out of love. You can still care about somebody, but no longer be in love with them. That is definitely a thing. It is unfortunate that happens because you find this person and you live this life together and they're amazing and you are amazing together and all that, and then eventually it's just not that anymore. And some people fight through it, and some people find a way to put a spark back into it or find a new flame. But others, and it seems like she's this type of person, just, hey, I'm done with this. There's nothing I can do. But the fact that you have to ask, should I fight for this? That should tell you something. What has he done that has made you feel this way? I think that's what you're getting at. That's what's missing. Yeah. Right. What has he done that has made you feel this way?
He does screwed up somewhere.
Maybe he has, or maybe it's just her personality.
Yeah, that's true. Well, here's another thing too to think about, and a lot of people don't really look into this. It's kind of generic, and I'm sorry if it's generic, but I don't think that you know his love language or he knows your love language, because obviously, if you're not happy and you don't know if you love him, it's because you two don't know how to communicate emotionally. And you just probably jumped in, like she mentioned, into the relationship and not knowing how to make that person happy, because you have that initial infatuation, then it's the honeymoon phase, and then stuff starts to get real. You got bills, drama, baggage, whatever comes in, that's the test. And obviously through that test, they don't know how to communicate. Because when you have kids and you're in a relationship for, past 5-6 years, like you say, and I agree, after that point, it kind of starts to get real. Like, okay, now you're annoying me.
Yeah.
Like, I like you, but I don't know if I'm in love with you. Those are probably and another thing too, what is he doing? Have you talked to him about this? Like, is he doing anything that annoys the crap out of you? Because if he's not communicating with you the way you want, it's probably the reason why you're not in love. Right?
I can see what you're getting at there. I mean, but that's us assuming that she's even said anything to him about any of this, or that she even cares to, because
maybe he's just cheating on you and running. I don't know.
It could be. Maybe that's what she needs to do. Maybe she needs to
have a fling.
Yeah, I know. Now, hear me out, because everybody's going to disagree with me. This isn't going to make any sense to most people, mostly women. But extramarital affairs happen on a daily basis. Okay. And it's not to say that you don't love the person you're with. Every now and again, you just need something that they don't provide. And it's not always a sexual thing. You can put the love to the test.
Put the love to a test and cheat on them. It sounds like a terrible idea.
I didn't say that's the only option. I'm just saying that's one of them.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I've never said it was right. I'm just saying it's.
But that's not going to fix anything, because there's a chance that the dude could find out. And then they have kids involved, and then when that's involved in marriage and all that, the legalities of her cheating. I mean, she could lose everything essentially. So you're asking her to risk it all.
But another option is for them to legally separate, but not get a divorce, and
that's just throwing in the towel. That's just throwing in the towel. What she's trying to say is, I don't know if I should throw in the towel. You don't throw in the towel just to try it out. You don't go and cheat on them just to try it out to see if, the grass is greener on the other side, because, out of life experiences, 9 times out of 10, the grass is never greener on the other side. It just looks greener and it looks prettier. And then once you're over there, you see all the bald spots and the stains.
But that's for somebody who understands.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand.
I think she doesn't understand what love is. If you can't see this guy, when you're old in a rocking chair on the front porch, drinking a sweet tea and eating some barbecue, if you can't see him then in your imagination, then don't be with him.
See, we're never gonna have an exact answer because there's so many things.
There's something missing out of this whole 2 paragraph essay.
Missing?
There's something else that's missing. I don't know if it's another guy. I don't know if it's another girl. I don't know if it's abuse or emotional abuse or what have you. I don't know what it is, but there's something that is missing. But clearly, communication's missing. But anyway, this is getting way too deep. We need to or something, man. All right. Thanks for all the replies. We'll read them here in just a few. Damn, Mo.
What?
We're still on Facebook Live, by the way. What's up, Clarksville Chive?
We actually got a text that is very similar to this.
Oh, we got somebody calling too. Hold on. Hey, what's up?
Hey, this is Dawn. How are y'all doing?
Doing great, Dawn.
Great.
I had a little comment about y'all's little discussion a moment ago. I think a lot of times we tend to forget that love is actually a choice. There are days that you have to get up and you have to choose to love that other person through all of it, through the bills, through the children screaming, through the lack of time together. And I think that we get so caught up on love as a feeling, which it is, but sometimes you have to choose that.
Well said. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about what she's doing? Are we missing something, or does she just need to communicate?
I think and I'm speaking for myself, it's all about communication, and it's all about, there may be some underlying things, and it sounds to me like she's looking for someone to give her the go-ahead to get out of it.
Yeah.
And, which is fine. Sometimes we need that validation, but you've just got to speak. Because a lot of times, as a woman, I have 2 small children, and sometimes I lose myself. I become mom. I become working woman. I become, wife. But where am I in all of this? And sometimes we get lost in all our to-dos. And there are days that I have to choose to love myself. and I have to choose to love my spouse, which I do. He's amazing. And we're going on 9 years. Does that mean it's always easy? No. But we choose every day to get up and to love each other.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. It's one of those things. Do you guys know each other's love language? Just out of curiosity.
Yes. Does that mean we always use it? No.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even know what that means.
The love language?
Yeah.
Well,
there's 5 different ones.
I am, and love languages can change too, from my understanding. For instance, when you're home with the children and that's all you are is mom, I want him to, stop and take care of the kids. Let me rest for a minute. I want someone to do something for me.
That's acts of service. That love language. Acts of service.
And he loves acts of service. He loves it when I cook him dinner and I bring him his food. He loves that. Do I always love doing that? No. Does he always love doing it for me? No. But we work through it, and we love each other the way they want to be loved instead of the way we want to be loved, because then it reciprocates, and that's the whole point of the love languages.
Right.
To find what that person's is, because if someone loves to receive flowers, their spouse may not. So if you're constantly giving gifts and giving flowers, that doesn't do anything for them when they would rather you rub their feet at night.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. What's the one that you buy stuff for somebody? I'm trying to think of that love language.
It's been a while since I read the book.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what it is.
Is it just acts of gifts or something along those lines?
Receiving gifts. Receiving gifts.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're trying to buy roses for a girl, her love language is acts of service. She's not going to respond to the flowers. She wants you to do something for her.
Exactly.
So
yes.
that's what I'm talking about with love languages. So maybe this chick doesn't know his love language and vice versa. So that way, everything they're doing for each other, where they think they're doing something good to appease their spouse, like, oh, she's gonna really like this, but really she doesn't, because that's not her love language.
Exactly. You know, I appreciate flowers. I have fresh flowers in the house, and bring me stuff home like that. But
You're breaking up, Dawn.
He says to me when I'm cooking dinner for you tonight, that to me is the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we appreciate the call.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
You have a good one.
Great
Thank you.
day.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Yeah, look up love language, the different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like
right now?
Yeah, let me look at the different ones. Love.
We got a lot of
language.
texts too.
What you got?
We got a good question. How old was she when she got married, and how long did she know her husband? That's a good one. Now, here's a deep one. And then I'll get to the ones. There are a couple people calling me out on the cheating thing. Hey, whatever.
Dude, that was stupid. Why'd you say
It wasn't stupid at all. It is a real life thing. If it wasn't, if cheating wasn't a thing, then why would we ever talk about it? It happens. And you know what? What's crazy is so many people can talk bad about cheating and try to down it, but in all actuality, a lot more people do it than will admit it, and they try to hide that by acting like they're against it. So I don't care what you say. I never said it was a good thing to do. I just said it's a thing. It's something that happens. But anyway, somebody said, oh man, this is deep. I feel exactly what she's talking about. I'm in the exact same situation. I've been married for close to 15 years, kids, house, etc. I'm done too. I'm not in love with my husband anymore. We were married very young. I thought it was love. Maybe it was, but I just don't feel it anymore. He's a great person and I want to stay friends with him, but the thought of being married one more day makes me want to scream. I understand where she's at. I say tell him how you feel and leave. It's best for everyone involved.
Jeez.
That's a text from.
All right. Well, here's the 5 love languages, and then we got to get off this topic because this is too deep. Physical touch. So if you're a person that likes physical touch, that's your love language. And you can do a love language quiz online to see, because they're ranked. You know what I mean? You have one that's the majority. Like physical touch would be your number one if you were that person that was, 50% of me loves physical touch. Like I have to touch you, and that's what makes me happy.
Right.
Quality time, obviously, that needless to say. Receiving gifts, flowers, stuff like that. Hey, here's tickets to the Preds. Have fun with your girl. Acts of service, which rubbing your feet, cooking, and all that. And then words of affirmation. You're so great. You're fantastic.
See, none of this, it doesn't sound like it should even be it should be labeled love languages. Those just sound like personal attributes,
right?
People's personalities.
But the way to figure out the person that you're with is, what do they respond to? What do they like? Because if you're going to have a strong relationship, you need to make sure that their biggest love language.
But wouldn't it be a mixture of all of them?
No, it's not. Okay. Like for me, quality time's number one. Number one over. If you give me quality time, that's the biggest deal for me. What's lowest on the list is receiving gifts. I don't care. Don't buy me anything. I got it. Appreciate you, but I got it. If you go out to buy me stuff to get me to be like, oh, you're so great, that's not going to do anything. Words of affirmation is number 2 for me. Words of affirmation could be number 1 for you, and for her, number 5. But she's never going to give you words of affirmation, so you're going to feel not loved. You see where I'm going?
No, it makes sense.
But you have to know your person's love language to make the relationship work. Because if you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure. It sounds stupid. The book's about 200 pages. It's by Gary Chapman. It's called 5 Love Languages. You can order it off Amazon for like $10. Very easy read. Very good, easy. Anyways, we're done with this, right?
Okay, I guess so.
Hey, appreciate y'all, Clarksville Chive. Love your faces. Thanks for all the responses. You can keep talking about this, I guess. We'll keep the video up. Bye.